Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. This one's for week 2 of Becca's Bookoplathon. So, I'm starting this a little bit late. Today's Tuesday. I wanted to start it yesterday. But I have good news in terms of my reading. So I think the last time that I spoke to you at the last part of my reading vlog from last week, I think that the only plans that I had was to keep reading Assassin's Apprentice and start Saga. I finished Assassin's Apprentice and I loved it. This book, I'm gonna hold it over here where you guys can actually see it. This book was so good. I did not really think that I was going to love it as much as I did. I don't know what clicked at exactly the right time that caused me to love it as much as I did, but oh my god. I so regret not having read this sooner. I want to move on to book 2 in this series immediately. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. And weirdly, I'm not usually one to like coming of age fantasy. I mean, you follow Fitz from the time that he's 6 until he's about 14 to 16, I think, towards the end of this. So I mean, it's pretty coming of age for him. The animal companions were an emotional roller coaster for me. And that's kind of hit or miss for me. I mean, I love a good animal companion. Is somehow everything came together and it worked out perfectly in this book, and I just loved it so freaking much, and I really didn't think that was going to be the case, but I ended up getting this on audio via Scribd just so that I could keep listening to it while I was at work, and I powered through it. It's actually a relatively short audiobook. This is only 400 something pages. So yeah, I mean, I loved it. I think I said in the last reading vlog how much I loved the relationships that he built with his mentors. That did not change. I still really feel that way, even though some of the mentors that he had were assholey, for lack of a better word. But yeah, this is so good. I want to read book 2. I'm very, very excited. I'm so happy that I finally got into Robin Hobb and all of these books, and I can't wait to move on. So, that's that. I haven't picked up Saga yet because I don't really know. I don't know. I'll pick it up eventually. It's only September 13th. I have 2 weeks left in this month, and that is the only thing left on my Bookoplathon TBR. And I suppose technically I could re-roll, or just roll more for Becca's Bookoplathon. But I don't know if I'm going to. 5 was a very achievable. Well, no, 5 was, I was hoping, would be a very achievable goal for me. I did not expect to achieve it so early in the month, because readathons have been very stressful for me lately, but this TBR just seemed to work out in exactly the way that I needed to make that happen. So what I'm thinking of picking up, I'll get to Saga eventually. I've got 2 weeks to do it. I know that I can read it in one 30-minute setting, if that. So what I think I'm going to pick up is The Black Tongue Thief. I have been eyeing this for a year. I picked it up when it was brand new, and I started reading it. I put a little bookmark of my stickies in there, and I even started tabbing it a little bit. I don't know that you guys can see where the tabs are. I started tabbing it a little bit, and something just was not clicking for me at the time. I know that it's something that I would love, because it was actually giving me a little bit Kings of the Wild vibes, and I really, really loved Kings of the Wild, so we're gonna try this. I'm clearly in a fantasy mood because of how Assassin's Apprentice worked out. So yeah, I think we might try this tonight. Maybe get used to this as an update setting for my vlogs, because I have a new vanity all in this area, which means that I have a built-in ring light to it, and my bookshelf is in the background. Yeah, you guys can see into our bathroom, but it's not really a mess, so I don't really care. This might be a new vlog setting, just for ease of all of that. But yeah, anyway, that's not really relevant to the rest of this. I'm probably going to pick up The Black Tongue Thief, do a little bit of reading tonight, and I will update you guys hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully I've started this. I know that when I first got this, I wasn't having any luck because it was brand new, finding the audiobook or the ebook for it from the library or Scribd or anything, so I might try that again if I do start to get really hooked into reading this tonight, so that I can keep going tomorrow, because as you guys know, I like to listen to audiobooks while I work. If not, I will probably find a different audiobook to listen to. I'm not really in a TV mood. I kind of go in and out, and right now I'm out. There's nothing that I've been able to focus on Thank you, Pregnancy Brain. I have been really into reading, though, so that's great for my channel, because my channel is not about the TV shows that I watch. But yeah, I don't know, I'm still holding this up. I'm not talking about it anymore. I will try to start reading The Black-Tongued Thief before I fall asleep. I will talk to you guys hopefully tomorrow. Alright, we're back to this spot because honestly it's the easiest place for me that's not a tripod to set up my camera for this. So, update. I am further into this. I don't actually know how far though. I think I'm like 100 pages into this. I've been listening to the audiobook. That's gonna annoy me. There we go. I've been listening to the audiobook at work, so it took me a minute to find my page in the actual physical book. I'm enjoying it. The audiobook is maybe not my favorite, and it's because I think the author might have narrated it, if I remember that correctly. I haven't actually looked. Maybe don't take my word for that. But I think that the author narrated this, and while that's great, and he's not bad, it's just, like, the accent. I don't know if it's his actual accent or if it's an accent that he's putting on for the reading of this. The accent that he does for this is so thick that, like, usually I could easily get away with listening to it on 2 times the speed, but when it's on 2 times the speed, I cannot understand what he's saying, like, at all. So I actually slowed it all the way down to 1.5, so it's not going as fast as audiobooks usually go for me. And then today I got distracted while I was at work by not reading anything, so I actually haven't touched this in a couple of days. But I am enjoying it. I am only 100 pages in. I'll probably get to it more tonight now that I'm done with the other book that I'm reading. So like I said, I'm pretty much done with my, no, I am done. I just have to pick up Saga still, with my Bookoplathon TBR. So I was trying to figure out what to read, and I was really feeling a romance, and my coworker actually recommended to me like an urban fantasy romance, and that shit's my jam. I love urban fantasy romance, paranormal romance, all of that. It's like crack to me. It's so good, and it's always so easy to read, and I always know that I'm going to enjoy it and have a good time. So I don't know what the series is actually called, but the first book is Wolf Gone Bad? Maybe? By Juliet Cross. Obviously, pop a picture in the corner so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And I know the author is Juliet Cross. And I know that I think the next book might be Don't Hex and Drive. She's got a whole series of, like, books that follow this coven of sisters of witches, and they all have really clever titles like that. And the first one, I just finished it. Like, I started it last night and I finished it today. And I loved it. It was such an entertaining time. It was exactly what I needed to read right now. And so you follow Mateo, who is a werewolf, and he is struggling with what he thinks is a hex because he has not been able to transform into his wolf side for 3 months, and it is causing some anger issues for him. And it's causing a bit of a split personality issue because his wolf has developed an inner voice and is now speaking to him and trying to take over, and he's very aggressive, and he's very, passionate, shall we say, and so he's like constantly fighting this inner battle with his wolf named Alpha, and like just trying to like temper him and like rein him in a little bit. And so he seeks out a famous hex breaker. He lives in New Orleans, and there's a coven of witches there that have a hex breaker, and her name is Evie, and she is the love interest, obviously. And so there's like forced proximity, kind of friends to lovers, but they're friends for so short of a time, I don't know that you can really count it under that trope. But like, it was just a good time. It was entertaining. I love the sisterly bond. I love the total and complete lack of unnecessary miscommunication and romance drama. Like, I know that I point that out to you guys in my books, but like, it's a thing that bothers me so much that I feel like when I don't come across it, I need to point it out to you, so if that's something that also bothers you as much as it bothers me, you can pick it up for yourself. And it didn't happen in this, and that was just great. I can't say I didn't see the twist coming, but it took me until about like 60% of the way through the book to see the twist coming, so like, I don't think it was super obvious who the bad person was, who the villain was in this. But I loved it. I ended up giving it 5 stars. I am definitely going to read the rest of the series. I might even move on and read the rest of the series this month, because I can't wait to see what the other witches in the family are going to get up to. So yeah, that is my reading update. Finished another book. I will be reading more of The Black-Tongued Thief probably tonight, so we'll see. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys when I have another update. Okay guys, welcome to Sunday. It's the last day of this week's vlog. What do I have to say about this week? I think that I told you guys the last time that I was reading. It was a paranormal romance called Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. I have since finished it. I don't know if I mentioned that in my last one or not. I really, really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it a 5 out of 5, and it catapulted me straight into paranormal romance world because it's hitting all the spots that I need right now, honestly. So I finished Wolf Gone Wild. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I have moved on in that series. But while I moved on to the second book, which was Don't Hex and Drive by Juliet Cross, which is really, really good. Also, it's about one of the sisters, Isadora, who is a conduit, which means that she has like healing powers and the ability to like move energy around. And she falls in love with an Indian vampire named Devraj, who is like a Bollywood actor as well, and he's like this very powerful kind of vampire. And they have a very adorable and steamy romance. It's great. It wasn't as great as the first one, Wolf Gone Wild. I liked that one a little bit more, but I still gave it 4 stars. I still really enjoyed it. While I was in the middle of that, Mariana Zapata surprise dropped a brand new book. And it's called, I think it's called When Gracie Met the Grump. Obviously, pop a picture of it over here. Hi, Ember has joined the party, of course. Guys, I read it in a day. It's almost 700 pages long. I read the whole thing on Friday. Yeah, it was great. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. Definitely not my favorite, I don't think, Mariana Zapata. All Roads and Wait For It still have definitely got the handle on that title. But When Gracie Met the Grump is Mariana Zapata's first departure from contemporary romance. She wrote a superhero romance, you guys. And so essentially you're following Gracie, who is, for reasons of her own, trying to stay under the radar and stay hidden from things in her past. And so she lives in this trailer in New Mexico, I think, when one day a super being falls into her backyard and is gravely injured. And she decides that instead of trying to prioritize her own safety and like privacy, I guess you could say, because of the stuff that she's hiding from, she decides to take care of him, and he ends up needing her care for like over a month, and like super grumpy in the way of like, if you read Under Lock by Mariana Zapata, like Dex was a straight up asshole, he's kind of also an asshole. And so, you know, they're kind of stuck together, forced proximity kind of situation, and things happen, and they end up having to protect each other, I guess you could say. It was adorable. I loved it. I have no regrets about reading it. It's definitely another 5-star read for me. There's books by Mariana Zapata that I like less. There's books by Mariana Zapata that I like more. I do have to say that I loved her entering into the sci-fi world, though. Sci-fi? Yeah, it was, I guess sci-fi is the right way to go about it. Was not expecting a superhero romance from her literally ever. I don't think that she's never done anything like that, which, to be fair, there's still 2 books I haven't read. Luna and the Lie and The Best Thing are the only books in her backlog that I have yet to read. But yeah, When Gracie Met the Grump was absolutely precious. I adored it. I had a great time. Definitely go and pick it up. 5 out of 5 stars. So then I finished that, and then I moved on to finishing off Don't Hex and Drive, which I finished off, like I said, this morning. I finished that this morning. And I have since moved on to Witches Get Stitches, which is book 3, which is following a third sister named Violet. She is the seer kind of witch. She, like, I don't think that she, like, has prophecies or anything, or even has visions, but she, like, picks up on vibes and kind of knows what might happen. She does tarot, she does stuff like that. And she is falling for a werewolf who is the cousin of Mateo from Wolf Gone Wild, and his name is Nico. I have literally just started that. I'm probably not even 5% of the way into it yet. So that's that. In case you guys didn't gather, I have not read any more of The Black Tongue Thief. I'm not uninterested in it, don't get me wrong. I just haven't had a moment to like listen to the audiobook, and anytime I want to read anything not on audio, I want to pick up the romances because they've been doing it for me, in case you guys couldn't tell. I also have not yet picked up Saga, which, I mean, it's the 18th. I've got over a week left in this month before I need to really worry about it. Even if I get to it on the very last day of the month, I'm not really that concerned. So, pretty successful reading week, I would say. I finished a lot. I read a lot more than I anticipated. I had a great time doing it. And I will start up another reading vlog next week because I've been doing okay with this. I've been doing okay with updating it. I think we're going on a trip though, so we'll see how the vlogging goes on that aspect, but we will try. But yeah, so that's it for this reading vlog today, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. Down in the description box, you're gonna see links to my Goodreads, my Twitter, and my Instagram in case you guys wanted to follow me on any of those. That's it for me, so I'll talk to you in my next one. Bye!